Imagine you are walking into a gym and you're seeing two athletes, okay? One is sitting in the squat rack with purpose, right? Their heads high, they got that routine dialed in. They are totally confident, but then the other one, they're hesitating before every rep. They're looking around, seeing who's watching. They're thinking about the last time that they tried this weight and they failed. Now, you watch them for a whole week and something interesting happens. You swear one of them was born confident and the other one just doesn't have it. But what if I told you the difference is not genetics, not just with how they were born, but it is the actual training behind it? Confidence is not a personality trait. It is a trained skill built through reps of self belief, of focus, of recovery, of tying and weaving every bit together. And that is why and it is also something that we get question upon question about and that we see people wanting help with. And that is why this week's theme is that confidence is trainable. It is just like strength. So we are going to look at how to create that confidence. Hey, y'all, welcome to the Mental Performance Playbook, where we are breaking down elite mental strategies and delivering them in actionable exercises that you can apply immediately. My name is Gabe Rummel, mental performance coach, founder of The Athlete's Health, creator of It's Phronoic Gym, and of this Mental Performance Playbook podcast here, where in all of them we are training your mind just like you would train your body. Now, here on the podcast, these episodes, each week we have a specific mental performance theme that can help the athlete or a coach or a parent get these actual exercises that then you can use to build that confidence, focus, resilience, you name it. And this week's theme is specifically for confidence and how it is trainable, how we can create it just like we can do with strength. So without further ado, let's just dive right into these and hopefully you can take at least one of these away. And if you do like it, I just ask you, leave a 5-star rating on this, leave that review, Spotify, Apple, drop the review for us so we can keep climbing through the ranks here. Number one, we have to talk about the core confidence switch. And this is identity over outcome. It might be something that we have heard before, but then maybe it is something that we don't even know how to use it or how to do it. And for reference, you're in the middle of a slump, right? You're missing some shots, you have some bad stats, the coaches are yelling like crazy, and you start questioning everything. We have all been there. It's that moment when the confidence almost just evaporates because the performance dipped a little bit. And so I ask you, who are you when things aren't going your way? It's pretty cool. It's pretty easy to know who we are when everything is going our way. But it's another whole concept for us to think about who we are when things actually aren't going our way. And so if we want to implement this, we can kind of think like we're Steph Curry here, okay? Confidence for him does not just come from hitting the shots. It comes from him knowing who he is as a shooter and as a competitor, as a person. So if we can identify identity-based, understanding identity as in who we are outside of just this one moment, who we are outside of us just doing it, because it's gonna be up and down. It's gonna be up and down. It's not gonna be all just one straight shot up, right? So if we can get this identity based self talk, if we can get this identity based coaching, it will increase our persistence and motivation under stress. If you watch these episodes day in, day out, this is a piece I'm adding in here. I'm starting to put more and more research. Not that I didn't already, but we're starting to put more and more research behind each even episode that we do. Each exercise that we create, that we coach out, we're trying to find more and more research to back it up. So as we keep growing, more people trust in and understand it. So then as we're going through the different avenues of who we're helping and what we're researching and helping people out with, we can talk the lingo to everyone for like that academic setting. But this is what I'm saying, where our persistence, our motivation under stress, under that pressure is going to actually increase if we can go back to this identity based self talk. Just like Steph Curry His confidence is not when he's making shots or missing shots. It just comes from him knowing who he is as a shooter and as a competitor because of what he's put behind it. And that is ultimately why I ask you, who are you when things aren't going your way? So if we want to do this, if we want to try to test something out here, we can just take these 3 steps of one, writing down just 3 qualities, 3 pieces, 3 parts that describe who we are, who you are, and not just what you do. So, for instance, relentless, coachable, resilient. Those are all some pretty nice statements, pretty nice words to put on who you are. Now, before practice or games, we got to repeat these qualities either out loud in the head or actually out loud. Personally, I like actually out loud and putting them actually out loud. And then after games, we got to reflect. We got to go analyze it, right? As soon as we're done with the game, you watch film. As soon as you're done with the test, you want to go see what you got wrong, right? After games, we got to reflect on this. We got to see what's happening using this identity based language. Did I play relentless? Not did I play good or bad? Did I play coachable? Was I coachable? Not did I do really, really good? If we can look at these pieces that we have more controllable parts over, which is also that identity and not just the outcome, that is the core confidence switch that we can start with as number one. For number two, I'm going to be talking to us about the confidence circuit. And this is training belief like it is a muscle. And I want us to think about confidence like a power circuit. Right? If you have not studied this at all, you got the little chart. It's going to go, got some squiggly lines on it, got some E and V's in the equation, right? The belief flows when every wire is connected. It has to all be connected. Otherwise, the circuit is not going to work. You have the positive and you have the negative when you put that battery in whatever the battery is going in. And if one wire is cut, if one battery is switched, if it's not there, the circuit breaks, right? Could be poor recovery. This could be negative feedback. And so we really need to think about what parts of our confidence circuit, right? It has to all be connected. What part short circuits out? What part stops first when that pressure hits? Nick Saban would call this the process, controlling what you can control. Elite programs train their confidence circuits and not just their confidence or not just the plays, but they train their confidence circuits daily. And these consistent mental routines, this reduces that performance anxiety and it improves the confidence stability, which is why we are looking at this as a circuit, why we want to make sure everything is connected and why we are going to be doing it every day. So if you're going to implement this confident circuit, what I want us to do is rate ourselves 1 to 10 on, I got 4 things here, right? Preparation, focus, recovery, and self-talk. Prep, what you doing beforehand? Focus, how are you locking in? Recovery, what are you doing afterhand? And throughout that whole process, what are you saying to yourself? Believe it or not, some people don't even know that they are talking to themselves. Number 2 is then identify the lowest area. That's your weak wire. That's the part that we want to go in. We want to retape it up. We want to make sure that battery's flipping the right way or that there's even a battery in there and that charge, that circuit is flowing. And to do that, we can build one daily confidence rep to strengthen it. Okay, maybe it's a 3-minute reset breath after a mistake. You have to go take a quick little walk. Maybe it's 15-second walk or 10-second pause. Maybe it's a little journaling prep routine. For athletes, it's just a quick reset. Well, it's a quick rephrase of thinking it. It does not have to take a long time, especially if we are in game, in practicing, putting these going right away. But it is one thing to make sure that we are strengthening that circuit, confidence circuit, and training this belief in ourselves and our ability to play the game like it is a muscle. Number 3, I'm sure y'all got a bank account. We're going to open another checking, and it's the confidence bank account. We want to make sure that we are depositing in this before we withdraw. Every time you visualize success, every time you hit your routine, every time you are finishing a tough workout, you are making a deposit. Now, every time you compare yourself, every time you skip that recovery post game or post pressure, every time you panic under pressure, you are making a withdraw. So I ask, are you making more deposits or more withdrawals in your bank account? Now, sometimes, even if you're doing more deposits than withdrawals, it still can feel like that confidence is low. Just like if you're working in high school and you're trying to make a little bit more money so you can get the gas and you can be driving all around and then anything else that you're doing, you might have to work a little bit harder at it. And that's what we can do here, okay? If we need to look at some ways to keep putting in more deposits and trying to not take as many withdrawals so we can really be saving this up, is we can keep a confidence tracker, a ledger, right? It's 3 daily deposits. Maybe it's a moment of growth and effort and consistency. That's 3 right there. And then we have to look back weekly. Okay, each Sunday before you're starting your week, or if you got Friday night lights, maybe you're doing this Saturday now. But what withdrawals did you make? Reflect on these. Think about these. Think about that. Study it. Strengthen it. How can you offset these withdrawals? Right. First, we want to make that even. If it's not even, if we're doing more withdrawals and less deposits, then we want to make that even right away to start. Right. And then before the competition, review those deposits. Look at everything you've been putting into it. This is what I'm doing before I go to a couple big presentations this next week. What have I been doing to put into it to make sure that this can be the best that it can be? Just for reference, Kobe Bryant, he never will lack confidence because he said he earned the right to feel confident. And that is exactly what we are looking to do with this bank account here. And this just all ties right back into your belief in your ability, what they call self efficacy, where you are growing through these master experiences. But once again, it comes back to what you are depositing versus what you are withdrawing. And last one, I've hinted on this a little bit here. This is huge. This is a top one that we talk about with our athletes at the Athletes Health, our Titans, but it is those reset routines. Okay, this is rebuilding confidence after a failure. I have a little chart that I always reference where you're in a hole, you're climbing out of the hole, you're on floor level, you're at the top, climbing up to the top, and then you're at the top. Those are the 5 stages. But at the top, you don't always stay there. You get knocked down, even if it can keep your balance. It can get windy. There can be some gushes of wind pushing you over. And when that is the case, that's a quick little fail, but it's moving you forward. And now you're going to go back up the mountain, but you're going to use that with the reset routine. And so this is why we use it so much. And it is the difference between elite and average people who fail. It's who resets faster. Confidence does not mean avoiding the mistakes. It means trusting your reset system. And honestly, I think that is huge. If I'm going up there, it means prepping for it, but it does not mean, okay, I'm going to make sure I don't make any mistakes here. It means, all right, if I make a mistake, I'm going to reset and keep going with it super, super fast. And that's all it really is. And so it really comes to when I always would ask myself is, okay, what's the plan when or if your confidence drops mid game? Don't really have to ask that too much anymore because most of the time I know what it's going to be. I know what my system's going to be. I know what I'm going to do if I'm going to keep going through it, what I need to do to shake it off. With our athletes, we do the same thing, right? And so many of them use a physical trigger, a breathing trigger, a thought trigger, tying it all together, touching their visor, you name it, okay? It's a mental reset to use after one of those small errors. And the research loves this. It says performance resets, restores, focuses, and reduces ruminative thought patterns after mistakes from using reset routines. That's what performance resets do. I'll say that one more time. They help restore, focus, reduce those ruminative thoughts and patterns after mistakes. So if we're trying to do this, I'm just going to break it down for you here one more time of one way that you can do it is we just like to do a simple 3-step routine, 1-step routine. Maybe it's a breath, something that you do to your body language, chest super tall. Maybe it's our 1-3-1 breathing, 2-6-8 breathing, 4-4-4, your box breathing, whatever it is. Okay, body language, self cue. Say something to yourself to move on to the next play. take some physical movement in that if we need to, right? Practice this every day, not just in games, but at school, at practice itself, whenever, at home doing homework, you name it. Link that keyword to the trigger to have that instant recovery, next play, attack, breathe, whatever that keyword is, right? How I said, we gotta have some type of self cue. That's the key word. Put this in this. This is your reset. Hit us up if you have more questions on these resets. We love to drop them in. Check us out for the free mental training session. We'll give you a reset there if that's what we need. We like to talk about a reset button and deliver what your reset button is and when we're going to be using it and everything else of the sorts for why we're actually doing it. Like to tell you why you're practicing hitting, why you're in the weight room doing that exercise. We want to break this down to you. So hit us up for this last one, that fourth one, that reset routine to rebuild the confidence after that little failing where you're going to go forward. Just want to summarize this, okay? Confidence is not about arrogance. It is about the alignment. It's not about thinking you're all that. It's about aligning with who you are, how you're training, and how you're recovering and putting all that into the performance that you're going to do. Because that is ultimately how we have the confidence and how those people you see on TV have the confidence. They know who they are, they know how they train, and they know how they recover for this moment that you are watching them. So we just covered 4 key ways. Number 1 was identity over outcome, who you are, not just what you're doing. Number 2 was the confidence circuit. Got to know every piece of it to keep our confidence up. Otherwise, all that is going to crash down and that circuit will break. Number 3 was the confidence bank account. Got to make sure we are depositing more than we are withdrawing. Number 4 was the reset routines. Like I said, hit us up for more of those. We'd love to help them out. They're great to implement, to use. We can see the confidence, all of our traits, 6 traits that we like to track, increase super fast after we put these in there. So when you are training confidence, strength, you will stop waiting to feel ready. And what you actually do is you become ready. And that's what I want to make sure I leave you with. If you like this episode, please give us a 5-star review. Just click it at the top. It means the world to us if we can get this growing even more. Otherwise, my name is Gabe Rummel. I hope you liked this episode on the Mental Performance Playbook. Check us out at www.theathleteshealth.com for any free resources, free exercises, free training sessions, and then anything else that we could get going your way. Otherwise, I will catch you next week right here. Peace.